Prophet ﷺ, and those of you who have been to Mecca in the middle of the days now, not in the old days, and now in the days of marble, the days of air conditioners, and the days of air-conditioned hotels and 6 stars and 7 stars and 5 million stars hotels and all these things. It's going to take you a whole lifetime saving to go to Hajj now. And in the era of commercialization of the sacred sites, all these things, emphasis on religious tourism versus ibadah, for example. In this era now, when you go in Mecca in the middle of the day, it's very, you can't even walk. Hatta even on a nice Italian-made marble, it's still, and there's air conditioning blowing from under it, all these things, you can't, it's difficult to touch. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam left Mecca with Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu wa ardah, all the way on feet, going from Mecca through the desert all the way to Al-Madinah. A whole week, day and night going. Anyone knows that if you go in the desert like this, you're asking for it. It's a death trip. There's no gas stations on the way where you can buy water, Maulana. I mean, you're going on your own. طبعا, الكفار were following him. Quraysh hired tracers, sand trackers, so they can trace the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, etc. The weak hadith of the spider and the eggs and the pigeons. Anyway, maybe it's true, but anyway, the sanad is weak, but anyway, it's mentioned, it's known. These things, all these things happen, people are shooting arrows and death trip literally, until the Mustafa sallallahu alayhi wasallam, obviously his honorable feet were swollen, etc., until they eventually made it safe to Al-Madinah al-Munawwara. Very nice. Quba. It took them 7-8 days. People around them, intelligence services of Quraysh behind them everywhere. It's not easy. Now that's one journey. Look at the other journey. Which one? Isra and Mi'raj. What do you mean? How many miles between Mecca and Medina? 250 miles, something like that? How many miles between Mecca and Bayt al-Maqdis? How many miles between Bayt al-Maqdis and the heavens and coming back? This is nothing. This journey took 7-8 days, and with difficulties and blood and feet and kuffar and this, and the other one is millions of miles. He goes back and he comes back in the same night. Well, you should ask yourself, what happened? Why didn't Al-Buraq, Mr. Buraq, Assalamu alaikum, why don't you come and do hijrah from Mecca to Medina? So we don't have to have no kuffar following, no arrows and people coming after, no track tracers and no cave, and the pigeons don't have to come and the spiders don't have to build the web, and just go Al-Buraq, Bismillah, you Mecca, Bismillah, you are in Medina. End the story. How come the journey from Mecca to Medina, which is a short journey, Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had to undergo so many difficulties and hardships and people following and death coming in every single corner? And the journey that was millions of miles, all this thing goes and comes back, and his bed is still nice and soft and warm. What's going on? And this is the ayah, إِنَّهَا لَا تَعْمَى الْأَبْصَارِ وَلَكِنْ تَعْمَى الْقُلُوبِ. This is the difference between the vision of the eyes and the vision of the heart. This is قُلْ إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ. You see that with your eyes, إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ. But يُوحَى إِلَيْ, the other one, I receive wahi. You don't see it with your eyes, you see it with your heart. You see, you're supposed to follow the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam in believing that he has wahi, and therefore when it has to do with his wahi and him being a messenger for himself, khususiyyat al-risala, or the khususiyya of the bashariyya, the specificity of the bashariyya of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He goes to heavens and he goes to Bayt al-Maqdis and he comes back. You don't have to worry about that. But then when you have to follow him as a human being, you can't follow him as a wahi. someone who receives wahi. There is no wahi to you. But how do you follow him? You follow him as a bashar that received wahi with this iman. Then when you do hijrah, you have to suffer. When you do da'wah, you have to suffer. And people will follow you. And people will slander you. And people will try to trick you. And death and difficulties and hardship and sacrifice and suffering. Because he himself suffered, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam, to give you that da'wah. This is how the vision of the heart and the vision of the eyes then come together. That's when you see a complete picture. If you have one without the other, the picture may not be complete. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله العظيم لي ولكم فاستغفروه يغفر لكم. أستغفر الله.